Welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition with Fricksauce. We are still at Skyhold after that massive last episode. We haven't yet talked to... where are they? There is one of the masters. There should be more. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Oh, there they are. Okay. Okay. For some reason I thought they would all be kind of clustered right here. Silly me. Alright, so we're going to pick a profession. Or at least investigate our possible professions. Specializations?
Hold and declare, Inquisitor.
What do you mean?
I ask your intent. I was summoned to oversee training, and I would know my charge. I am your commander in this matter, Commander Helene.
Anyone else notice how dramatic all of these specialists are, no matter whether you're a warrior, a rogue, or a mage, or whatever? They're always so very dramatic. Well, I guess we'll match that.
Thank you for coming, Commander Helene.
Commander will suffice, recruit. I teach the skills of the Knight Enchanter. It is a rank. It is a life. Understanding its hierarchy is the first step. You already know this. You were not made Inquisitor and then taught to lead. I will teach you how to rise to your place. How to join your warriors, spectral blade in hand. How to command the ranks while standing beside them. Are you ready?
Who granted your rank? What forces have you served with?
I cannot say.
Then how do I know you're capable?
You know because I have told you, and I will teach you the same authority.
Alright, that really isn't a good enough response. Just because someone tells me something doesn't mean I have to believe it, but okay. We'll just play along. And anyway, I think this is probably the specialty I'm looking for. So.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then we will begin the simple steps, recruit. And we shall see what heights you reach. You have a task, a simple construction. Go, learn, and return. Soon you will lead from the front. Soon you will command. Recruit, I await the completion of the first of your orders. Only then can you learn to command.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
I cannot. Only you know if you are fit to lead with more than maps. Do you have the mettle to raise a blade in grand melee? To have your presence make heroes of your charges? This is a path for leaders. You tell me if you are worthy.
Look at my face. I am skeptical in your direction. Okay.
I can't commit to this yet.
Hello? Yes, hello. I am your trainer.
Yes?
I am your trainer.
You said that.
Good, because it has been a long journey. The cause is just, and if we don't start soon, you won't have time to learn. I am your trainer.
Third time's a charm.
You seem a little... scattered.
It's nothing. I'm just a little fatigued. It's nothing. Thank you. I was charged with studying the breach and the subsequent rifts to discover how they affected traditional disciplines. I was enthralled. So were the 19 others, I presume. They're dead. They learnt the power, but couldn't wield it. Rift Mage Inquisitor. The forces are incredible. And with training, you will be incredible. I know how not to die, and I can teach it. It's incredible.
Oh my goodness.
You didn't mention your name.
I am your trainer.
That isn't a name.
It is what I am. I try very hard to remember that much. There is so much else to keep in mind. Understand, Inquisitor, that I have learnt it all very quickly, so you do not have to.
Mm-hmm.
The rifts were triggered by the breach. There's already a school of magic.
A school? No. Yes. Sort of. The holes in the veil flooded us with magic, and that can be used. It changed some rules, modified them, enough that the careless inverted themselves, old forces in new forms. Others will try, their results will vary, but you will have the best instruction. Because your trainer has already taken the risk. The price has been paid.
Who charged you with studying magic from the rifts?
The Mages Collective. I did not just say that. Yes, I did say it, and we're proud to help. We are nimble, we could move quickly and commit people to this rift magic. Many people. Their lives made it stable and safe. We're very proud.
Okay, so far she is absolutely my favorite trainer out of all of the ones in all of my playthroughs. She's hilarious. I don't remember this conversation in, because one of the first playthroughs I always do with Dragon Age is, well, at least since Dragon Age 2, is a Mage playthrough. For some reason in Dragon Age 1, I didn't pick Mage until something like my 5th playthrough. But then once I had Mage playthrough, it was pretty much, going back, it's one of my favorites. I tend to like to shoot things from afar, so, you know, let others get up in the action. I'll shoot from afar. That's my favorite way. But this lady, okay, she's my favorite.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
You are the Inquisitor.
And?
You deserve power that casts your enemies aside with the abandon of a creative force, crushes them with your very will. That is the promise. Who better than you? You are the Inquisitor.
Okay.
Very well. Show me how this should go.
It goes places you have been and some you have not. That is necessary. So the price is not paid twice. Follow the instruction and you will know the way. You'll understand the power. Then I'll show you more. After all, I am your trainer.
Yes, you are that. Here's the other dude.
Inquisitor, I heard a tapping. My skills are required.
And you are?
Speaker Vios Anaxas. I have come from Navarra as a voice for the dead. Welcome them, and they will serve your cause.
Excuse me? You speak for who?
The dead. Many assume that they have misheard. I am of the Mortalitasi. We tend to those who have passed and revere their lives by honoring them in death. And when the living are threatened, we give the bodies of the dead physical purpose once more. Necromancy, Inquisitor. The dead will serve for you.
Oh, goody.
You're saying you can bring the dead back to life?
Beat it,
Of
surgeon.
course not. The souls of our departed cross the fade to be with the Maker. The body is left empty.
Then what is it that you do?
In the Grand Necropolis, we would usher in a displaced spirit of the Fade, eliminating imbalance. But this is war. Every battlefield has one thing in abundance: death. I turn the bodies of enemies into weapons against them. We do not manipulate the living. We make use of the dead.
You're a mage who manipulates life. How is this not blood magic?
Blood magic consumes life. It tears at the living to manipulate and destroy. It is a cancer among our kind. We honor life by venerating the dead. We give their mortal form purpose. In combat, perhaps only for a few moments, but that is still more than they had. More than opposing you normally allows.
What is a Mortalitasi?
We are the caretakers of the Grand Necropolis of Navarra. For the treasured relative, we usher a spirit of the Fade into the void of their mortal form. It honors them both. But when enemies threaten the living, we turn death into a weapon of war, instead of merely the result.
If only it was as cool as he's making it sound. Because this is basically the power that Dorian has. And it's just not that cool.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
It is not for everyone, yet we all reach beyond life. You have already killed many out of necessity. To stop at death is wasteful. Death can make allies of enemies. Death can rend the battlefield. Death can terrify.
People will fear me.
Don't you want to terrify? Fear means there are fewer to fight next time. Fear means lives are saved, if that is your concern.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then your journey begins as others end. The steps are small, but vital. There is instruction and veneration. Then you'll return. We shall see what this life holds for you.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that last description is a little bit more like what I think the actual power is. I could be wrong. Gotta judge someone. I'm gonna avoid that. I just don't feel like being Judgy McJudgerson at the moment. Herod.
Inquisitor?
The Arcanist has arrived.
You should see for yourself.
That's some creepy Teventer shit right there. Yuck.
Hello there. Well, don't just stand there slack-jawed. Let's figure out what you need.
You're the magical advisor?
Oh, you're
Where
her.
is she looking? There
The
we go.
Inquisitor. I'm Dagna. Arcanist Dagna. It's an honor, your worship. Is that it? The hand anchor mark? It's pretty. And the breach was pretty too. In a destroy everything sort of way.
And for those of you who are late to the game on Dragon Age and are not familiar with Dragon Age 1, Dagna is a dwarf from Orzammar, who the mountain home of the dwarves, who was born into a specific caste, I believe a blacksmith caste, but wanted to do stuff with magic. Now, dwarves can't work magic, as you've probably been hearing, throughout, if you're following this playthrough. So this is very uncommon, unusual, unheard of. Usually dwarves have more to do with lyrium because lyrium boosts or is the source of magic other than the mage themselves. So they have a certain tolerance to lyrium. So they're usually involved with enchanting things, but they don't work magic themselves. They don't dream. They don't explore the Fade. So Dagna's desire to study in a circle, she would tell you in Dragon Age 1 for the quest that she had already studied magic and loved magic theory and thought she would be of benefit to the circles because she could do studies without the worry of being possessed, and she could be removed from the whole workings of magic and just study the theory. So your quest was to somehow convince her father and then also get her an introduction into one of the mage circles so she could begin that career. And so my wardens always did, and so here she is. She's now an arcanist, and she's just as cute and creepy as ever. So here we are. Welcome, Dagna! Yay!
I welcome you to the Inquisition and look forward to your contribution.
Me too. I've heard some impossible things. I love impossible things. Those are the best to make, well, possible. I've looked at Herod's devices. The precision is fantastic, but typical. Mundane. Old thinking.
What now?
No disrespect meant to the classical trades, but you need a new perspective. I've made adjustments. As long as I keep making them, you can craft just about anything. Almost safely.
That was the other thing about Dagna is she theorized, or she was positing that because she didn't have the ability to work magic, didn't know about magic other than theory, she could imagine or reimagine things with a completely new and unbiased view or perspective on things. So that's kind of where Dagna she's just got a great imagination, and no prior biases or teachings to hold her back. So, let's see.
You seemed impressed by the anchor. What does it look like to you?
I heard what everyone says what you heard Corypheus say. That's a long chain of who said what. To me, it says key. But keys do a lot of things. Open, lock, switch. Some open one thing, some open everything. It sounds like Corypheus made it to open, but it looks like you can use it to close. It may be that simple. It sure is pretty. Wish I could see through it.
Through it. Okay.
What is it you do, exactly?
I was born to the forge. That's literal in this mythcast. So the hammer and tongue, that's like a heartbeat. But you've a man for that already, and a good one. I'm here because of my passion for magic. Magical study, magical theory, magical enchantment, and through it, the manipulation of masterworks. I studied it all with an objective eye. No secrets, no fears. That lets me apply principles like no other. Maybe one other, but I don't have that wonky of a mind, so I still kind of win.
Reference to Sandal, of course.
What's the story with enchanting?
Lyrium is the heart. In certain rational patterns, it beats like something alive. That's how I see it. So, a mage can make your weapons do things, but with the right runes, the right rarities, your toys become wonders. It's the one thing mages can't do. Drives them mad. Literally. Dwarves are resistant, so it doesn't affect us. Mostly.
You have the ability to make exceptional weapons and armor. Masterworks?
There's an art to the forge, as well as enchanting. You need an ear for it. And hands. Eyes, too. Nothing bad to say about Herod on that front. He's wonderful. But there's this little more needed. With the right bits, an edge can be more than an edge. Armor can do more than protect. A hue can be just a bit brighter. In short, smithing can be more. In short.
Another time, Dagna.
Of course. Bring me what you want made, and I'll make sure it goes just right.
Let's decorate. What do I feel like today? Well, we'll just put scary crap around since it's October. My favorite bed or poster. Can't go wrong. Let's see. You know, I'm not sure about having a bed where someone's pulling the sleigh. You know? Just it's a little strange. We'll stick with that. It's not like you're ever in the bedroom for much of anything in this game. Not much of anything. Go for Grey Warden all around. Ooh, I haven't picked up any decor. Oh, let's go for that. I'm not sure that we're ready to upgrade anything. Yay! Boo! Oh, I like getting this to the point where proximity heal, so it'll heal others around you who are near you, and with that, I rely on it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's get out of here. Now, as you know, I'm doing an all mage playthrough as much as I can, except where I have to carry around someone who could smash a wall or pick a lock. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to the rest of the crew until I need to. See if I can create some rooms. And I want one other that will damage more than just living, especially if we're going into, oops, Crestwood. We'll do another Spirit Rune. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Let's see. Okay, let's sit in judgment on our very impressive throne.
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment, where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Do I really need to oversee even more death? I'm nearly at capacity.
I share your distaste for more bloodshed, but it needn't come to that. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you.
Alright, let's do this thing. In my very uncomfortable seat.
This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
You answered the death of your clan with a goat?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. You meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat.
Hey now.
Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
Is it called a gibbet? I was like picking this one. I've picked this one before. I think I've picked, I don't think I killed him for that, because he's making a token response that he needs to make, but I don't think he means harm, personally. I don't want to drive them out, but this one I like because I think it gives him what he wants.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
What I don't understand is why his hat doesn't fit. His hair is peeking through. It was made for him, so why? Oh my goodness, do I have another one? Alright. Can't remember who I've got
You
to
recall
judge.
Gerion Alexius of Tevinter.
Oh yes.
Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
Thank goodness they took off his ridiculous pointy hat. That thing bothered me so much, I have to tell you. He looked like, I don't know, a red Sonic the Hedgehog. No, his hat sticks out, not apostasy.
After what he's done, it's time someone did.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
Serve red-click mages, executing him, imprison him, and tranquil. I think this one, because man's got a lot of knowledge, and I feel like he should put it to use for our cause, whether he wants to or not, so I like this option.
You swore to the mages you'd help them. I will have you uphold that promise. Fiona will take charge of you. Any knowledge, favor, or coin you own will go towards the mage's future.
A headsman would have been kinder.
That's right. That's why I didn't do it. He did bad things for a good reason, a good cause, but still very bad things. Started a cult, for heaven's sake. That never ends well. Kool-Aid gets tainted, you know. Construction report request to fight. Workers finishing the banner replacements are requesting more important tasks. Several wish to train with swords so they can fight, more directly serving the Inquisition. They traveled to join a war, not dress up a keep. Can't say I disagree. Foreman Charisse. Our enemy cut a hole in the sky seen everywhere. We look upon it from below, but it need not humble us. We may fight because we are many. We are many because the Inquisitor inspires. The Inquisitor inspires because of her growing legend. part of this legend is what the masses find on arrival. That is the job of your workers. Not vanity, but veneration. Not impulse, but elevation. Their skill as workers is greater threat to the enemy than their number in half-trained soldiers. Lady Montelier. Very politically put. Let's see. I'll go pester Madame Dufair in her little slice of Lorelei. Oh, but first. Construction report. Surfacing. Paint plaster, tile plaster, stone. Previous occupants have redressed over and over. Most are solid. Some I would strip down to the stone. The strength of this place is the foundation. Are we here for the long term, or is this the Inquisition, temporary? Ooh, can't read today. Cell masonry. Do it right. The Inquisition is only temporary if we fail. And we're not failing the Inquisitor. Sir Morris, Quartermaster. Oh, thank you so much, people. I love you too. Hello, darling.
Yes?
No, okay. Never mind, darling. As you were. Whatever that was. Sup?
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
Oh, alright. Thank you.
As you were. Yes, Inquisitor.
Toodaloo. Ooh, demon scales. Man, you don't want those hanging around in your pocket. Have we chatted?
I heard of your verdict on Alexios, Inquisitor. Servitude is kinder a punishment than I would have given, but I won't complain.
Yeah, but see, you're in
He
charge of
may
him.
wish you'd done worse. My fellows have some interesting ideas on exactly what he can do as compensation.
See, so much better.
You were once a Grey Warden.
I think I've already asked her all these things.
An
Bye.
unusual,
Bye.
Another time then.
Goodbye. Way of the Necromancer, for mortalitasi for the living, the dead. The word of speaker Vias Anaxus, make one passage stand out. We are of this world, and as with any piece that seeks to leave its element, there is a void when we abandon the mortal. It must be that this would hold our returning to the Maker. It must be that we should seek balance. It must be the Maker's first children aid the second. An account. Breath ceased on the hour exactly. We felt his absence in that moment, and were ready. It was gentle, and all were calmed by the signs of spirit entering, knowing there would be no chains on their loved one. Unfettered, he would find the side of the Maker. But that was not the training for the battlefield. I had heard the accounts and knew my role, and I was ready. Then our warriors signaled the charge, and I was not ready. Breath was not stilled by the hour, and was not gentle, and I was sore afraid. Then the enemy countered, and I saw blades come for the good men whom I had stood beside, and I would not allow it. The dead who had fallen, I bid their forms to serve, and it was the turn of our foes to know fear. But I had peace, for I had granted the fallen greater purpose, and in doing had honored life by protecting it. Detailed ritual instructions follow. Hey.
I ran into Fiona. Seems you have Alexius serving the mages. There's some justice in that after what he did to them.
I thought you'd like it.
Maybe one day he'll realize it.
Probably no. Oh, yeah. By the way.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallwood want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
That would be hard to do while I stood there.
He expects me to travel with Mother Giselle, although Maker knows why he'd think I would. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that.
Yep.
If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
Let's go meet this retainer then.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough.
I can't believe my father's gall. Of course, he couldn't come here to Skyhold. No, that would be too much. But contacting some southern cleric on the sly, much wiser.
Yeah.
If this is some Venatori connivance, I will be utterly disappointed.
I should go.
Naturally.
Yeah. You know, for kind of a library area, this place is dark.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
Wee. Wee.
Fertile ground even here. This hold has everything.
Because it's a pot. Don't get too excited. Oops. I apparently didn't plant it. There we go. That was weird. And that is the extent of my garden. Construction report scaffolding. Third fall in as many days. We need more sandbags. It's almost impossible to drive an anchor between these blocks. The place was built to last, but that makes it a fight to build it up. Baronal Roofer. Approved. The Inquisition needs its people on good legs. Sir Morris Quartermaster. Oh, excuse me.
Inquisitor, Elan Vemar. Honored to represent the College of Herbalists and offer my services as apothecary. I intend to carry on the work of my esteemed colleague, Adan. He thought highly of you. He will be missed.
He did?
He didn't seem all that friendly toward me.
A sign of his respect. Smiles are saved for fools, so they leave quickly. All the mundane needs of Skyhold will be well tended. If you note anything special, let me know. I'm here to serve the cause we must.
All right. Anything else?
I am at your service.
Where did you receive your training?
I studied with Adan after he left the service of the King of Ferelden. Well, when the king was no longer there to serve. Our College of Associates tends to meet informally. I've since been fortunate enough to serve various heads of state. They are all as good as another, truth be told. My skills and contacts are better suited to more imminent need.
Are there others who could come to Skyhold?
They are helping now. I have contacted many of our finest, and their influence is not inconsequential. They are not, shall we say, prone to take the field, but we will be well supplied.
What is your evaluation of our supplies?
We are well supplied, and I foresee only better to come.
I take it you're a city elf, not Dalish.
It's not a useful identifier. I am an elf. I was raised away from the Dalish. No, I do not know their customs. I'm sure that much was immediately obvious. It's of little concern. I have skill enough to be evaluated by what I can do. My associates appreciate my work.
As you
go,
were.
girl.
Of course, Inquisitor.
Carry on. No, there's... Mother, is that... It... Why? Why? Seriously, it's... I have the Headless Horseman in... A couple of them in my garden. Wow, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Why are they headless? There's always something going on with these banners for me. I don't know why. Usually I end up with just like, you know, sticks in the ground and no decoration on them. It's frustrating.
Ah, Inquisitor.
Mama
You
G.
have finally come into your own.
Oh, thank you so
The
much.
Maker has put you on a difficult path. I pray you walk it safely.
Thank you so much.
I remember our talk out there before we found Skyhold. It wasn't just the Maker who put me on this path, was it?
The Inquisitor could never have been Cassandra, or Leliana, or me for that matter. We are too political, too tied to the Chantry and all its failings. But I did not make you stand against Corypheus. I did not make you risk death to save the people of Haven. Only you could be the Inquisitor. I only pray the power of the Inquisition is enough.
We're done praying.
If the power of the Inquisition isn't enough, we're all in a great deal of trouble.
It may seem overwhelming now, but you have already done more than most could have. The Maker has chosen you to deliver us from Corypheus. You have the faith and support of everyone here. Never forget that. Now, was there anything else?
No. Thanks, Mama G.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Off we go. Thren. Fired.
Watch that tip, Morris.
Okay, we're not bitter at all. Bride of the Maker. Maker, though I am but one, I have called in your name, and those who come to serve will know your glory. I remembered for them. They will see what can be gained, and though we are few against the wind, we are yours. As long as no one breaks out into she's like the wind, I'll be okay. Letter to an Inquisition agent. My darling Wilbur, I am so proud of you. We hear so much about the Inquisition in the village. It makes me happy to know you are doing your part. I am sorry about what happened to Haven. I will light a candle in the chantry for the fallen. Please take care of yourself. I know what you're like when things get busy and the fate of the world hangs in the balance. You must take care of yourself before you can help save the world, you know. Don't forget to eat. You're still in the mountains? It must be cold and wet. Why couldn't it be in a fort in the hinterlands? Then you'd be closer to home. Well, dress warmly. Shall I send you a blanket? Anyway, you should write more often. I don't understand why you can't tell me what you're doing. You shouldn't keep secrets from your mother. Love always, Mother. P.S. What do you mean I have to address the letters to Rector? Is that what they call you there? Why? Your name is Wilbur Quigley. It's a good name. Wilbur was your uncle's name. He fought in the Battle of River Dane. We are all so proud of him. Are you ashamed of your given name? Why are you ashamed, Wilbur? Oh my gosh. I wonder they left that on the bench. Hey, Lizette.
Thank you for Haven. Less so for Redcliffe, but I am committed to serve your worship.
Backhanded. As my sister would say, suck it up, home slice. Where am I going? Oh, here I am.
Has there been... Well, how about that?
You're awful.
Not that. Gifts. Or perhaps betrothal.
Not to my eyes.
Oh, the waiting is delicious.
Whee!
How do you know they won't attack here?
Darkspawn don't.
The spiderwebs help stop the bleeding, and they prevent wounds from getting infected.
What's up, Creme?
Your worship. Can we talk about the bull's charges? Certainly. What can I tell you?
He's kind of missing.
Have you had any other interesting jobs?
We went up against Gatler's giants in Ferelden. Not actual giants, but big guys, all wearing a dragon's weight in armor. Might as well be fighting golems. The chief challenged Gatler himself to single combat. Gatler laughed and called him a horned savage. The chief broke a dam and flooded the valley. Last we saw of Gatler was a bunch of bubbles as we swam away.
I love story time with Creme, especially when Creme pours wine in his ear.
We'll talk later.
Maybe we should get the bartender to cut you off. Yeah. Sup, bull?
What's going on?
Apparently not much in conversation.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Yeah. Okay. I think that is all. Let us be going. We'll go from the war room. Might as well kick off any quests we can and then head out to, like I said, maybe Crestwood. What do y'all think?
Inquisitor.
Yeah, let's read all the notes. Construction report, death on the wall. One of our finishers, Garen, fell from the scaffold and landed on a paving stone. He had breath for an hour, but his eyes were still. He died, and the Chantry sisters wrapped him. What should we do? Foreman Charisse. Have them commit his body with those we have lost since Haven. I will record his sacrifice for the Inquisition, move his fellow workers to another site, and allow time off with pay if they request. Ensure that all workers do their jobs safely. We are in a war, not a race. Rushing does no good if we harm ourselves. We are all the Inquisition. Lady Montilyet. Do. What's up, Jojo?
And what else did Lady Forsythia say? That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition. Anything else? She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother. That does sound like her. Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention. You always do find the brighter side of things.
What's up, ladies? Oh, okay, bye.
We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Nevada, Your Worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
She'll have us flogged alive.
I believe she meant flayed alive. Her ladyship tends to confuse metaphors when she's excitable. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
You're rather good-natured about threats of death and dismemberment.
They are chiefly bluster, Inquisitor. Most of them. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
Pick me, pick me.
I have time if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Jennar still won't respond to our letters.
Oops.
And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt without mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
It went by so quickly, I didn't even notice.
You're far too polite. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
No one else here has your experience, Josephine. Or your stories.
I'll try to curtail their length next time. But I leave feeling less troubled than I have in weeks.
They have
look at my
certainly
pretty
spared no
windows.
expense.
Yeah, our windows are some of my favorites. Those in the Ferelden. I love them. They're pretty. Who doesn't like a pretty window? Oh. Well, I don't want to change my wardrobe because I like the outfit she's got on. Whee! that was... we got a little sidetracked. We were headed for the war room. Let's try that again. Should we talk to Josephine again?
Yes?
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Val Royeaux. But I bawled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
You must have missed her terribly.
I did, and she was most unsympathetic to my wailing. But my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royeaux?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Val Royeaux when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Val Royeaux to me. So beautifully foreign, I gaped at its spires for months.
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Val Royeaux?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that before I traveled. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Saharan, the Anderfels, whatever lies past the Amarantine Ocean.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
If you must deal with legislation, at least it's lively.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance. A certain exuberance of style.
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
What do these Antivan heads of their households do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
I imagine there must be give and take between a family heir and their parents.
There is a fair amount of arbitration. Bickering, if one is less polite. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
Where's her pen? Her pen has disappeared. She's basically waving her hand over her paper. Maybe she's finger painting. It's a little bizarre. Josephine, where's your stylus?
I I think you're too finicky to give those responsibilities to the rest of your family.
Ha, tagged you.
You don't know them. What's Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette?
No, truly. It must be me.
You never know what a family member can do until you're not around to hold their hand. Of course, it can be a risky proposition, I suppose.
You haven't really gone into detail about how you know Leliana.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became Ambassador to Olay.
It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Leliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Leliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I assume the entire problem was some form of trial.
You assume correctly. Leliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Val Royeaux. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Does Leliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
What? Okay. It would be nice to know the story behind that one. Okay.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
Alright, now to the war room. A lot of mages just showed up. I hope they're friendlies, because if they're not, we're in trouble. Ew. Amulet of Magic. Do we have any others that finished? Yes. My Lady Inquisitor. Considerable as your support has been, I'm saddened to report my motion died on the Senate floor, although I'm hardly surprised. My fellows in the Magisterium don't enjoy the thought of having their freedom limited in any fashion. That was, however, hardly the point of the motion. It was a statement needed to be made, and your support allowed me to make it far louder and clearer than I ever would have on my own. So I thank you. With any luck, this will draw support from those who feel as I do. It will also draw fire from Venatori cultists still in the shadows. But I say, let them come. I will not back down in the face of such fools. I'm sending along a few things which I hope will aid your efforts, and we'll see what more I can drum up. Give my love to Dorian. The poor boy is such a hothouse orchid. He must be wilting in the cold. Magister Mythal'as Telani. What rewards did I get? I didn't see any rewards. Let's see. A battalion for Sarah and Brashiel. We marched without incident, although I have it on good authority that there were many closed-door meetings among Brashiel nobility. Several useful names have sent diplomatic envoys, and potential future gains may be impressive. Do not tell Sarah I said so. Alright. Resources. Truth or Dare. Hissing Waste Resources. Tevinter Resistance. Investigate Hunter Fell. Stop war between Navarra and Tevinter. Serpent of Navarra. Let's see. I received some good news from Mythal'as. It seems her little resistance has drawn support, just as she hoped it would. Thing is, that support comes in the form of idealistic magisters with no real power, while the ones who might see her group as a threat are the true heavy hitters. Reading between the lines, I'd say Mythal'as is in more hot water than she lets on. She's crafty, but she could use more help right about now. or the Resistance might die on the vine. Up to you, but if you ask me, any enemies of the Venatori should be friends of ours. Dorian, let's see, allow me to handle this. Eliminate one of our enemies, and the rest will believe she can strike at them with impunity. They will back off. Kind of like that option. It's a 4-hour option, wow. Let's see, send some Templars north, disguised, of course. Real Templars, the sort who can disrupt magic. That should be all of the help she needs. Okay, that is also an interesting idea. Let's see, the Inquisition is now a force to be reckoned with. Even in Deventer openly declare support for the Resistance. I think I like Colin's idea.
To work?
Yeah, to work. Go, Colin, go. Let me go back over to Ferelden. Just a moment. Search for Hagrid. Resources. Conscript. More agents. That will give power and perks and such. Resources. What is that one? Neatly filed request form. Oh, this is the requisition from upstairs. An assortment of flora from southern Ferelden and eastern Orlais, including several uncommon varieties. See attached list. Tissue samples from several common herbivores. See attached list. Access to an accurate map of southern Thedas and records salvaged from Haven. Purpose. My predecessor, Minave, was studying alterations in feeding and migration patterns in several species following the appearance of the breach. Her work was left incomplete. I would finish it. Helisma Darrington, Inquisition researcher. It would be faster to purchase the missing items than hunt them down. My agents can seek reliable resources. Soldiers can gather outstanding items. It would double as training exercise for newer recruits. And I can contact the University of Orlais to see if they have additional materials to aid Helisma's research. Alright. Let's do this one. I think, yeah. We have received a message from Orzammar. Knowing an ancient darkspawn threatens Thedas, King Haramont officially declared his support for the Inquisition. Alright, she's out. He's out. Oh, I guess this is a diplomatic thing. I'd advise sending a delegation to Orzammar as soon as possible to cement this alliance. Well, okay.
At your service.
Off you go. Inquisition agents have uncovered a potential problem in the nation of Navarra. A Deventer mage by the name of Virelius has recently been noted in the company of King Marcus, and rumors comment on how strange it is for a new advisor to be so closely heeded. There is evidence to indicate Virelius is a member of the Venatori. Having the Navarran king under their sway would give the cult a great deal of power and hinder the Inquisition's ability to operate in the north. So we can send an agent to eliminate the advisor as well as his supporters by any means. He would do... let's see... wait for the advisor to leave the capital, then send a force to ambush and capture him. That's interesting. We should tell King Marcus what his advisor truly is, convince him to see the light. Well, I don't want to do that. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know that I want to kidnap him anyway, but... Oh, we're just gonna do it.
Inquisitor.
Just go. Just go. Make it happen. Okay. We've done what we can here. Alright. I think this is actually a great place to stop. So we'll end things here. I think in the next episode we will deal with Dorian's family matter, family strife, and then head on over, I guess, to Crestwood. That is still the plan anyway. If you've been with me long enough, you know that I make a plan and then I just do whatever kind of distracts me, left or right. Ooh, butterfly. So anyway, I will say Auf Wiedersehen, English much, or Deutsch, Sprachen Sie? Auf Wiedersehen, thank you for joining me thus far. Don't forget to like and subscribe below, and I will see you in the next episode.